You know, I've made so many of these pony videos this year that I didn't even consider the fact that you guys don't even know who my OC is, which is a pretty big failing on my part. No, her name is not PSI May. This little goober's name is Pixel Prefab. If you don't know, off of YouTube, I'm a studying game designer, have been for the past 4 years, with my dream being to break out into the video game industry. The original plan for this channel was to talk about gameplay and stories from some of my favorite video games, and maybe even pitch a few of my own games. But this My Little Pony thing caught on so hard that it basically killed off that half of my channel by my first upload. But one video I've been dying to do but kept putting off is one where I tried to design a My Little Pony video game. Bronies and gamers aren't too far removed. Hell, one of the biggest sub-communities of the Brony fandom are comprised of dedicated Team Fortress 2 players. But it's strange that a franchise that has produced TV shows, movies, toys, comics, music, and more hasn't really dipped their toes into any dedicated video games. The biggest release is the Maritime Bay games, but those are often criticized for being unengaging licensed slop for literal babies. We all know the target demographic of My Little Pony is grown adults with mortgages, but it's not like there isn't a market for My Little Pony games. One of the most popular amongst fans that is still going strong to this day is the Friendship is Magic mobile game by Gameloft. But when you hear the prospect of a real My Little Pony video game, you're thinking of a full, complete, big boy AAA experience with hours of gameplay. Or a modest yet well-designed indie game, but I just thought the former sounded cooler. There have been fan answers to this empty void in the series. Some I'll briefly go over, mainly to pad out the runtime of this video. There's Fighting is Magic, which is an arcade-style My Little Pony fan game. This would receive a cease and desist from Hasbro, and would be changed to an original game titled Them's Fighting Herds, May it rest in peace. Super Lesbian Horse RPG was a romantic comedy that really played up the Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy shipping, but this too would also be scrubbed of any MLP references and turned into Super Lesbian Animal RPG. God damn it, the furries can't keep doing this! Stay away from my family, you cretins! I'm kidding, furries have more money than God and will probably dox me. Then there's the fandom famous Ponytown, which allows you to make your own OC and just vibe with your friends for a bit. Just a nice social center for fans to meet. Finally, there's the Ace Attorney / Majora's Mask inspired game banned from Equestria Daily. No, I already talked about that in my last video. Go watch that if you're an adult instead. This doesn't even cover the hacks of pre-existing games. Two of my favorites that I love revisiting is the Mega Man 3 hack known as Dr. Discord's Revenge, and my all-time favorite, Equestria Bound, a hack of Earthbound, a game that is obviously kind of a big deal for me. But in my opinion, a My Little Pony game doesn't need to engage in action or intense mechanics. No game needs that to be fun. It just needs to give the player an incentive as to why they want to play. Just look at Ponytown. It's basically just a cutesy messaging board, but it captured the hearts of so many fans. To them, this is the My Little Pony game, so much so that the aforementioned Them's Fighting Herds tried to replicate it. I found that the best qualities a fan of My Little Pony could ever need in a game is sociability and creativity. Bronies are sociable and community driven. You need to be able to play and experience the game with others across the globe, locally or online. Bronies are also creative. They like to add their influence into the experience of the series. I think the best answer to this is a life sim / town builder, similar to Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, and Stardew Valley. When you start the game, you can make and name your own custom pony or other creature, and select what location in Equestria you would like to move into. The locations in question include Ponyville, Manhattan, and Cloudsdale. You can build your home, start construction projects, help out the locals, play mini games, and visit familiar locations from the show. Advancements in the game are key, as you aren't locked to one location. Eventually, you can buy train tickets and buy properties across Equestria, including 3 unlockable locations not available from the start, including Appaloosa, the Crystal Empire, and Canterlot. Of course, I cannot forget to mention the mares. You are able to unlock new residents and befriend familiar characters from the series, and much like the Gameloft title, you are able to unlock a set of different appearances for multiple characters. Each character has an advancement tree of dialogue depending on how deep your friendship becomes with them, which can come with advantages or gifts to help you further your home or the town around you. You can make a mistake and say the wrong thing, which might upset them, but you can always repair a relationship. However, don't think a relationship stays exclusive between you and the other character, as word or gossip can get around, which can affect your relationship with the other characters, in a dynamic social system that makes NPCs aware of each other. You aren't the only one making progress, but so is every resident in your town. The more you play, socialize, and improve your community, so do the residents. This system, where NPCs aren't just glorified dialogue boxes, would encourage the player to return to the game and not have to worry about losing interest until the next patch update comes out. Looking at you, Animal Crossing. But that is just the single player aspect. Multiplayer really helps bring the game into a whole nother level. You can invite friends to visit your town, to commune, trade gifts, build, or talk to residents, which also gives the benefit to the visitors game as well. Any NPCs they don't have on their own save files that they've talked to have an increase of showing up and wanting to move in, without taking away anything from the host's island. That's right, no black market trafficking in this game. You can also even open block parties, which are Ponytown style events where several people online can enter a copy of your current save file and you can all just experience it together, and even send each other friend requests. I would want this game to be a platform for a community to have a shared wholesome experience, with proper safeguards to protect children from adults with ulterior motives. But if you just want to be on call with a couple of friends over Discord and play this game, no one's gonna ban you from doing that. This game should be available on as many platforms as possible, including Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X, Mac, and PC. I would also want iOS and Android versions to be possible, as it's not intended to be a demanding game, but it could pose quite a challenge if we were to take into account all of the different maps and expansive content. And of course, all good games need a name, so I propose this game would be titled My Little Pony Equestrian Life. Clean, simple, you know exactly what you're getting, and it even plays into the life simulator genre it's taking inspiration from. I'd kill to have this game be a reality. Hasbro could just take this idea and not pay me for it, and I really wouldn't care. But I would kinda care. I really need a job in my field. But now I want to turn the question onto you. What is your dream My Little Pony game? I would love to read some of your ideas in the comments below. That's all I have for today. I've been May, and thank you for watching. Hey guys, so a couple of weeks ago, I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I asked you guys to leave me your questions. I kinda wanna make this sort of a milestone tradition, so let's jump into some of these questions. First up is from Jiggy the Brony. What is your favorite song in MLP? Obvious bias, it is Tricks Up My Sleeve. I love Trixie so much. Her having a very bratty villain song is really cool, and I love it, and it's one that I just cannot get enough of. You will never be able to top it, never ever ever ever. Hasbro, please send me free Trixie stuff. Next question from Redamon5658. Who is your favorite non-pony character in MLP FIM? Thorax. I love the changelings. I was always fascinated by them as a kid, so having one that we could just straight up talk to was just so cool to me. I think he's just a really cool character, and I loved his role in the season 6 finale. So yeah, he's my favorite non-pony MLP character. Last question from Alex the Lonely Shed. How did you get into the MLP fandom? This is actually a really great question, because I'm actually going to be making a full video about this. I have a script written out, and it's one of the most important videos for me. It's going to be coming out in the next couple of months, and I really hope people look forward to it. To me, it's just my passionate ballot for this show and my experience with the community, and I hope that for whenever it comes out, it better answers the question. Okay, but for real this time, there's no more end credit scenes. That's all I have for today. Thank you all for watching.